Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Rakshama Krishna 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 Pahimam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Goda Vani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desha Charine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopala Govinda Rama Sri Madhusudana Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarva Avastang Gatopiva Ya Smaret Pundarik Aksham Sabhaya Abhyantara Suchi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Om Ajnana Timarandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panggung Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamahang Vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yat Kripa Tamahang Vande Parama Ananda Madhavam Trinad Api Sunichena Tarar Iva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Harer Nama Harer Nama Harer Nama Eva Kivalam Kalau Nastyeva 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 Gatir Anyata Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. My obeisances to all my Krishna book students. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Scene 12 of the prayers of the personified Vedas is entitled The Meaning of Modern. The personified Vedas stated that persons who are born after the creation of this material world cannot possibly understand the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead merely by manipulating their material knowledge. Just as a person born in a particular family cannot understand the position of one's great-grandfather who lived before the birth of the recent generations, in the same way we are unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana or Krishna, who exists eternally in the spiritual world, even when the material cosmic manifestation is dormant. In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated, Tad Dhamma Paramang Mama. Also, Purusha Sapara Partha Bhaktya Labhyastu Ananyaya Yas Yanta Sthani Bhutani Yena Sarvam Idang Tatam. The Supreme Person, Purusha Uttama, who lives eternally in the spiritual kingdom of God, which is known as Sanatan Dham, or the eternal abode, can be approached only by devotional service. As for the material creation, Brahma is the first created person. Before Brahma, there was no living creature within this material world. It was void and dark until Brahmaji was born on the lotus flower sprouted from the abdomen of Garbhodaka Shayi Vishnu. Garbhodaka Shayi Vishnu is an expansion of Karanadaka Shayi Vishnu or Mahavishnu. And Karanadaka Shayi Vishnu is an expansion of Sankarshan. And Sankarshan is an expansion of Balaram. And Balaram is the immediate expansion of Lord Krishna, although Balaram is also considered older to Krishna. After the creation of Lord Brahma, two kinds of demigods were born. Demigods like the four brothers, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumar, who are representatives of the renunciation of the material world. And the second kind of demigod are those like Marichi and their descendants, who are meant to enjoy this material world. These two kinds of demigods were gradually manifest, as well as all other living entities, including the human beings. Thus, any living creature within this material world, including Brahmaji, the demigods, as well as the Rakshasas, are to be considered modern. This means that they were all recently born. Therefore, just as a person recently born in a family cannot understand the situation of one's distant forefather, so anyone within this material world cannot understand the position of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world because the material world has only recently been created. Although they have a long duration of existence, all the manifestations of the material world, namely the time elements, the living entities, the Vedas, and the gross and subtle elements, were all created at some point. Anything manufactured within this created situation or accepted as a means to understand the original source of creation is considered to be modern. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Scene 13 is entitled, How to Understand the Supreme Source of Creation. By the process of self-realization or God-realization, through fruitive activities, philosophical speculation, or mystic yoga, one cannot actually approach the supreme source of everything through these inferior processes, such as fruitive activities, philosophical speculation, or mystic yoga. When the creation is completely terminated, when there is no existence of the Vedas, no existence of material time, no existence of the gross and subtle material elements, and when all the living entities are in their non-manifest stage, resting within Narayan in his form as Mahavishnu, then all these manufactured processes become null and void and cannot act. However, bhakti yoga, devotional service, is eternally going on in the spiritual world. The fruitive activities, mental speculation, and mystic yoga processes are absent in the spiritual world. Therefore, the only factual process of self-realization or God-realization is bhakti yoga or devotional service. And this is confirmed by Krishna himself in the Gita. And if one takes to this process of bhakti yoga, he or she takes to the real process of God realization. The original commentator on the Bhagavatam, namely Srila Sridhar Swami, has therefore composed a verse in this regard, which conveys the idea that the supreme source of everything, namely the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, is so great and unlimited that it is not possible for the living entity to understand Krishna by any material acquisition. Therefore, everyone should pray to Lord Krishna to be engaged in bhakti yoga, in his devotional service, eternally, so that by the grace of Krishna, one can then understand that he is the supreme source of creation. The supreme source of creation, namely the Supreme Lord, Vasudeva, reveals himself only to devotees. For instance, in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Sa evayang maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhakto sime shaka cheti rahasyang hi etad uttamam. My dear Arjuna, because you are my devotee and because you are my intimate friend, I therefore shall reveal to you the process of understanding me. although it is a great transcendental mystery. In other words, the supreme source of creation, namely the supreme personality of Godhead, cannot be understood by our own endeavor. We have to please Krishna with devotional service, and then Krishna will reveal himself to us. Then we can understand Krishna to some extent. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I have written a few notes on my own, and based on what some of you said last week, I think you will enjoy this Nirantara purport. So, of course, everything I write is based on Prabhupada's teachings and writings. Here we go. So, in order to explain this particular section, I found something in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prakashananda Saraswati was the leader of all the Mayavadi sannyasis of Benares, which numbered many thousands. A Brahmana once witnessed the wonderful behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so he came to Prakashananda describing Lord Chaitanya's characteristics. After hearing Prakashananda vilify and blaspheme Sriman Mahaprabhu, the Brahmana went to Lord Chaitanya and questioned him. My dear Lord, why could Prakashananda not utter the names of Krishna and Hari? He did chant your name, Chaitanya, 3 times, but he did not say the names Krishna or Hari. Now, as far as I am concerned, simply by seeing you, I am moved to chant the holy names Krishna and Hari. Lord Chaitanya then replied to this Brahmana. The Mayavadi impersonalists are great offenders unto Lord Krishna. Therefore, they simply utter words like Brahman, Atma, and Chaitanya. So because they are offenders unto Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is identical with his holy name, the holy name Krishna does not manifest in their mouths. And it is all because they are offenders unto Krishna. The Lord's holy name, form, and personality are all one and the same. There is no difference between them. Since all of them are Advaita, non-dual, and absolute, all of these are transcendentally blissful. There is no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna himself, or between Krishna's name and Krishna himself. But as far as the conditioned soul is concerned, one's name is different from one's body, from one's original form, and so on. So at this point, we see typically Lord Chaitanya, whenever he makes a statement, he immediately corroborates it by quoting from the scriptures. So now Lord Chaitanya quotes a very, very powerful, famous verse. Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinitvat Nama Namino. The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. He bestows all spiritual benedictions, for the holy name is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete, Purna, and Krishna's name is the very form of all transcendental mellows, rasa. Krishna's name is not a material name under any condition. And Krishna's name is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by any material qualities, it is called Shuddha, completely pure. There is no question of Krishna's name being involved with Maya, Nitya Mukta. Therefore, Krishna's name is always liberated, Nitya, and spiritual and liberated, Mukta. Krishna's name is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. And this is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. Now, Lord Chaitanya continues to explain to the Brahmana. The holy name of Krishna, Krishna's body, and Krishna's pastimes cannot be understood by the gross, blunt, material senses. No, they are manifest independently. Krishna's holy name, transcendental qualities, and transcendental pastimes are all equal to Lord Krishna himself. They are all spiritual and full of bliss. Now Lord Chaitanya quotes another very important verse from the Upanishads. Atak Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grayam Indriyai Sevan Mukhe Hi Jivadao Swayameva Sparati Adaha. Therefore, material senses cannot appreciate Krishna's holy name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, and Krishna's pastimes. But when a conditioned soul is awakened, that's important, folks. Awakened. Yes. That's why I say Krishna consciousness is the original, pure, woke philosophy. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his or her tongue to chant Krishna's holy name and taste the remnants of Krishna's food, the tongue is purified, and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. Finally, Lord Chaitanya says, because the Mayavadis are great offenders and atheistic philosophers, the holy name of Krishna does not come from their mouths. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Nara Singhaya. Namaste Nara Singhaya. Praklad Aklada Dayane. Hiranya Kashi Orvaksha. Shilatangana Kalaye. Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho Yato Yato Yami Yato Nrsimha Bahir Nrsimha Hridaye Nrsimho Nrsimham Adin Sharanam Prapadye Nrsimham Adin Sharanam Prapadye Namaste Narasimhaya Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Janubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Nrsimha Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha Hare Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Very good, very good, very good.